I have 6 very important words to share with you. Do not give up on silver. It's times like this to separate the real stackers from the wannabes. The term hodl, hold on for dear life, could not be any more true right now. But let me put something in perspective for you. The average price of silver for the last 10 years has been $15. That's for the last 10 years, but 11 years ago, silver was $50. And if you're someone that loves silver stacking as much as I do, then make sure you're subscribed because I post the newest, latest, freshest, most up-to-date recent information in the world of silver. Plus, I do daily videos, lots of new types of content coming out, more hand videos where I'm showing my stack, lots of giveaways coming up. This summer is going to be really fun, and I want you here with me. Now, financial investors turn their backs on gold and silver. Now, this is something that happens a lot when the price is down and stays down. Sometimes when there's a slight correction, people almost jump, but they hold off. And right now it's looking like people are jumping. Now, I really want to make a video like this to bring faith back into people. Right now, it does seem like the community more than ever is on this, double down and just keep buying mind state, which is beautiful. But I know there's still a lot of new people out there that could be a little hesitant. So let's look at this article of why people are turning their backs on silver and gold, and let's just break it down. So gold is already under pressure again as the new week gets underway. As economists at Commerce Bank note, investors are retreating not only from gold but also from silver. Unrelenting strength in the US dollar weighs negatively on gold. Now let's look at this 1 week chart. So you can see that it almost broke above $23. That's a lot of resistance at that level, but now it's going back downhill. And let me tell you something. If silver breaks below 20 and it gets into the teens, I think that's going to be a very very scary waters, just because that's just a psychological number that even if it's, $19.99, just seeing that it's in the teens could drive people away. Kind of like at a store, why stores do $19.99 instead of $20, because just seeing that level or that price makes a big difference, even if it's just 1 penny. So, unrelenting strength in the US dollar weighs negatively on gold. The dollar's stronger, but guess what? We know that's very short-lived. We know that every week or so, the FOMC comes out with a new statement or new interest rate hikes or whatever, but we all know the inevitable collapse of the dollar. So if you're someone that's saying maybe the dollar will just keep getting stronger and precious metals will stay low, you really got to step back and look at the bigger picture, folks. I mean, no fiat-based system is ever going to work. It never has. I mean, time and time again throughout history, every fiat-based system has collapsed. Every single one. It's actually designed to collapse. We're trying to get ourselves out of debt, but replacing it with more debt. That's like trying to pay off a credit card with another credit card. It catches up to bite you in the butt, and at the end of the day, precious metals are the only thing that ever holds their value. Let's look at this. ETF investors have been withdrawing from gold over the past 2 weeks. Gold ETFs tracked by Bloomberg registered 12 tons of outflow again last week, and that's the CFTC statistics show that speculative financial investors are further turning their backs on gold too. Now, yes, we're going to see this a lot more on the COMEX. It's a lot easier to sell digitally than the physical metal having to drive to your local coin shop. But also, I think that people that invest into physical precious metals are more silver stacker-ish, if you get what I'm saying. We're really in this for the reasons that are against the dollar, where a lot of people maybe on the COMEX are still kind of trading it marginally like stocks. Now, 153 tons have been thus sold this far on the futures market, and that's the past 3 weeks. This is presumably one reason why gold prices have shed to $100 or 5% down during this time. Silver obviously follows suit with gold as it's gold's little brother, and usually since silver is a much smaller market, it's more volatile. So if gold is going to drop 5%, silver is going to drop 10%. It can also work for the other way around, though. That's why a lot of people say it's so risky, because it hits higher highs but lower lows. So there's a lot more opportunity for error there. So speculative financial investors have also retreated noticeably from silver in the last 3 weeks. They have even slashed their net long positions by 64%. Around 4,180 tons of silver being sold on the futures market. The silver price has dropped by nearly $3 or 11% over this period, significantly more steeply than the gold price. And I think right now, this is one of those situations where people are going to look back and regret the most. Like a perfect example would be like when silver was at $50 in 2011, right? When a lot of people wish they could go back to that time and sell their silver at 50 when previously it was at, $9 $10, whatever. Or a situation where Bitcoin was at, let's say, $1,500, and then within 6 months it was up to 16,000, and people were saying, "Man, I wish I could go back in time and buy Bitcoin at $1,200." You know, that's one of those situations where people are mostly selling right now, and in a year or two from now, when silver has dramatically recovered. I mean, within a year or two, that's a lot of time. I'm sure that even by the end of the year this year, so the prices could be, much different. I mean, astronomically different. Not saying it's going to explode, but it could definitely be back up to the near 30s, if not more than that. And I hate when people put themselves in this position where a lot of them are selling all of their all of their silver. Instead of just maybe selling 5-10%, allocating that to something else, or just diversifying their portfolio. It's just a dangerous situation to be in. I was also talking to the co-host of the Silver Stacking podcast that we have, which, by the way, we recorded another episode of the podcast yesterday. I'll probably edit that down and put it up tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But he's a chartered financial analyst, right? He's smart, right? He's really smart. He's going to school for this. He's the numbers guy. He has his own website incorporating the CPI data and all this crazy mathematical stuff. I was asking him because he's the perfect person to ask, and that's kind of why I brought him on as a co-host, because I'm a silver stacker. He can also give a lot of insight with, actual data. But I was asking about this, and he brought up a good point, as a lot of people, because the topic was, why do people buy low or buy high and sell low? Or why did these articles on Kitco tell people to exit the market when the price is low? That's the worst time to exit. And he brought it more from a economist perspective, as these people, they have a certain a certain quota, and to push this money into other things and promise guarantees from certain percentages. It's not like our position where we could just buy it and we're planning on holding it for 15 years. It's a much different situation. So especially, buckling down to real silver stack, because we have to be extra careful that we're not trying to invest like that we're not trying to buy silver at $22 and then sell it at 30 and then use those profits to buy back in, or at a later time. Investing like that, especially with precious metals, is the worst thing you can do. Just buy it and then hold it for 15 years. Don't buy it, try to get some profits at, when you sell it maybe at 20% gains, and then go back into the market once it dips to buy it for cheaper and then hold. That's more trading online digitally. That's not for something like physical precious metals. But at the end of the day, the moral of the story is, just buy it and hold it. I know there's going to be a lot of articles coming out that might seem a little bit scary, or you might get a little intimidated when you see your investment in the red. But guess what? It always comes back up. And we could even look at a graph. Let's look at like the 1-year chart, right? It goes up, it goes down. It goes down right here, but then it goes back up. It looks like right now we're at one of those bottoms, but there's always a lot of support around this level. As you can see, time and time again, it holds its ground right here. Let's even go like the all-time chart, right? You see this stability right here, and this is what I was talking about. The average price of silver for the last decade has been $15. But you see, time and time again, a lot of people see this dip, and maybe they're right here, and they start selling it all, thinking it's going to go lower. But it always corrects back upwards, right? And it's done that so many times, especially now, given the circumstances with, scarcity, just the war, so many different situations happening, that it's almost guaranteed to go back up within a few months. And given, if you're planning on selling, if you at least hold on and don't sell yourself short within 10-15 years, you have nothing to worry about. I'm sure a lot of you are buying more silver right now, doubling down, lowering your dollar per ounce average, and just taking advantage of these low prices, not thinking about, liquidating. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to hit the like button. I post daily videos, 2 videos on weekdays, 3 videos on weekends. So lots of content, usually once in the morning and then once in the afternoon on weekdays, and then on weekends it's usually like 9 a.m. Eastern Standard, around 2 or 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, and then maybe 8 p.m. So lots of content coming out, lots of diverse stuff though. Every video is going to be unique in its own way. It's not just going to be repetitive. Lots of more types of videos where I'll incorporate you all to participate, whether it's a poll video, whether it's a video showing off my silver, whether it's a giveaway, whether it's something that we're talking about on Wall Street Silver, looking at silver memes, whether it's a stacking strategy, coins versus bars, benefits of junk silver, silver storage and security. There's just so many things to do when we're talking about silver, and I want to do it all. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.